Hi everyone, this is Michael with the general reading for Aries Sun, Moon, and Rising for May 2019. I do hope that this video finds you well. Thank you so much for watching this video and welcome to my channel. I am just so thrilled with the growth that we've been having and all of the beautiful likes, shares, and comments. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences and sharing your energy with me. It really helps me move and expand this channel, so thank you so much, and thank you to all the people who have been donating and booking personal readings. You're all so awesome. This is an amazing community and I'm so happy to be a part of it, so thank you. Anyway, I was drawing some cards here just to kind of see what the energy was for my Aries, and we actually had a few cards that came out. You were indicated this time with the Queen of Wands, but we also had the Five of Cups and Nine of Wands that came out together. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel or just don't know, I determined the order of the videos by the cards. I'll actually shuffle and pull a card and see what sign I should do next. And Aries, you're the one who came up, and I gotta say, it seems like you're really in... It's like the impression I'm getting from this and from your energy in general, just kind of tuning in, it does feel like you're coming across very strong. You are coming across as this Queen of Wands. You're very in your power, you're very lovely, very hot, and just powerful. But there is definitely the sense that you've gone through a lot. You might appear a bit worn out by the people around you, but inside it's like you're this Five of Cups. There's this disappointment, there's this weeping, this bitter feeling. It's like whatever happened in the past, whatever it is that you're really suffering with, I don't know if other people are actually seeing, Aries. You're coming off like... You're definitely coming up strong, and I almost feel like you're a bit guarded after something that's happened. So it almost shut you out from other people. It made vulnerability too scary for you. And the funny thing is like, wherever you are in your journey, whatever it is you've been working on, I feel like you are actually almost there. And there is this real sense of like wanting to give up, of dwelling on the past, of not feeling like things are going to happen. And you know, even in this Five of Cup cards, you have these three cups that are spilled over, but behind you there are still these two upright cups. It's not all is lost. And I think you're very, very strong, maybe even stronger than you're realizing, Aries. It's really interesting. I really just get this very strong impression that some of you are really holding back emotions, and it's actually preventing you from releasing them so you can move forward and on to the next thing, because you're so close. Whatever it is that you want to do, you're so close to it, closer than you even realize. And it's just a matter of moving on from whatever this was, even though it seems like you moved on. You might even think you've moved on yourself, but there is still this pain here. There is still some sort of anguish, and it's not worth it. It's not worth your energy anymore. And the best way to deal with that is almost counterintuitively letting it out and expressing it and just feeling your way through it. It's like you're almost guarded to that. You're almost defending yourself from feeling a certain way, but the reality is you're almost there. Aries, come on. Anyway, I feel this energy is so interesting for you, and I really do feel like you guys have been going through a lot of transformation this year. I don't feel like it's been the easiest year for my Aries. I know last month wasn't so bad. It actually seemed pretty positive compared to the other months. But wow, I know things have been pretty hard, and I imagine with everything that was moving through Pisces, it definitely was hitting you in your relationships, hitting the way that you relate to people, especially intimately. This could also just be partnerships, so people that you are interacting with in work, like a business partner. Any sort of close relationship like that, really. There was a lot of energy, a lot of emphasis on that for you and for the collective in general. I do also get this sense that with Lilith moving into Pisces on May 3rd, there is going to be I it's gonna, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna really be a good time to do shadow work for a lot of signs. It's gonna be a really good time to look at your subconscious. You know, therapy is actually a really great thing for that. Um, and I feel like whatever it is that you're not facing, whatever it feels like you're not strong enough to do, I'm getting the overwhelming impression that you actually are stronger than you think, and you are very close to achieving what it is you want, to achieving your dreams, to being that Queen of Wands, to really, you know, whether this is a business or whether this is just some sort of dream you're trying to realize, you're actually closer than you think. Um, okay, I just feel like I'm going to keep saying the same thing, but that energy is just coming in very, very strong, Aries. Before we begin the actual reading, I just want to disclaim that this is a general reading, meaning that not all of the information that comes forward is meant for you. It's up to your own discernment for you to pick out what resonates and to leave the rest behind. You are your own best psychic. Some of this information will come in the reverse, so information that's coming in as a third party might actually be you, or vice versa. The energy can sometimes swap. We do also have all the astrological information for throughout this reading in a blog post down below. So if you want to check that out, look in the description box. And I have, what was the other thing? I'm actually going to be starting love readings this month as well, so pay attention and look out for those. That's going to be coming more in the middle of the month, so around the 15th. A lot of people were requesting that. I made a poll asking what kind of readings people wanted for mid-month, and almost 50% was love, and there was like four other categories, so it was pretty overwhelming. So yeah, we're gonna give those a whirl. So I hope you enjoy those. Keep your eyes peeled for those. I think that's pretty much it for the pre-energy read. I've already spent a lot of time just going over the energy, so I am eager to actually see what the cards say for May. Um, yeah, I'm gonna begin shuffling here. I'm gonna set our intention. Interesting. I'm actually only being told to shuffle 2 times. All right. Interesting. So we have a lot of reverse cards for the past energy. This is kind of the end of April coming into May. We have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, the Eight of Wands in reverse, and the Seven of Cups in reverse. It feels like last month there wasn't a lot of action. You might have been trying to get a head start on something and it just didn't come through. Maybe that's why I was picking up almost this frustrated feeling, almost this defeated feeling from you coming into this read. Maybe that's not all of you, but it seemed strong enough. Someone needed to hear that message. And I do feel like it might be a pretty large audience here. With this Ace of Pentacles in reverse, this tells me that there might have been some sort of opportunity or business venture that just didn't end up coming through. You might have been hoping to hear back from a job or something like that, and you just didn't hear back. This could also be in the home as well, or just someone you're close to, some sort of offer for stability, or some sort of project that you're working on, or something you're trying to begin. It's just you're having a hard time starting it off. It might have even just been turned away. It might have been completely rejected. And again, with this Eight of Wands kind of in the heart of the past, the emotional space, it does seem like there's blocked off communication. Whatever it was that you're trying to go forward with might have been stopped. There could have also been some sort of delay, travel-wise as well. This is feeling it's almost like divine intervention stopped you from doing something. The divine timing was off, is actually kind of a feeling I'm getting here. And with the Seven of Cups in reverse, it does feel like mentally you're kind of coming out of this dream state. You've been kind of maybe a bit delusioned with something. You might have been very swept up in the fantasy of something, and you're just having a hard time turning it into a reality. And with this in reverse, it does tell me that you are moving out of this sort of dream state. You are, you know, fantasizing less, but in the process, I think you're realizing that a lot of what it is that it's almost like the things you thought you wanted might not even be what you wanted anymore, or it's just the things you thought were available to you actually aren't physically yet. Um, so that's interesting. That Seven of Cups. Um, yeah, there's definitely just this stepping out of illusion, stepping out of the mind, and it feels pretty blocked off. It's not a great past energy. I'm curious to see what the animals have to say about it. Maybe they can help us find some clarity. Um, that's too many. Interesting. So we have the mouse card. This tells me some of you might have been dealing with a small-minded individual, or you might be feeling a bit small-minded yourself. Someone who's very detail-oriented, nitpicky, very focused on the trees and not so much the forest. Mouse is also looking out for threats. It's always very hyper-vigilant, looking around before it does anything. And this was kind of just the energy in the past, kind of feeling mousy. And all of this mental energy can be very draining if it's not properly resourced. It can drive you a bit crazy, to be honest. The best way to deal with this is actually working on a project. So if you are feeling this way still at the beginning of May, it may actually be a good time to work on some sort of creative project or something that requires an exacting eye or a lot of detail, something to take your mind off of whatever it is that's giving you this anxiety. But it does seem like I also get the sense that it's just moving from this mental energy in general, because you do have the Seven of Cups here in reverse. You're being pushed into actually taking action here. I almost feel like you've been a bit you've been blocking off yourself from doing something that you need to do, if that makes any sense. Yeah. I'm going to now look at the beginning of May, kind of the first half, to see what we can expect at the beginning of the month here. Okay, all right. We have the Hierophant, the Four of Swords, and the Five of Cups. Showing up again, eh? So with this Hierophant card, some of you may... I feel like this is actually a pretty good start. Whatever it was you were having a hard time starting with this Ace of Pentacles in the past, you're actually in a pretty good position at the start of May, or you're coming into something pretty stable, pretty solid. It might be a bit rigid, it might be a bit traditional for you, but I do feel like it's actually a pretty good... It's almost like a mental shift that's happening. Maybe that's what's happening with the Seven of Cups here in the past. Some of you may also be dealing with a Taurus, either at work or at home, and working very well together. This is a Taurian card. I do feel like this is a very stable card. Some of you might be working well in an organization or working through some sort of institution, and it's actually benefiting you. Some of you might be getting a new job offering that's very solid, or you might be getting promoted. It's achieving status in a very traditional way. And it actually feels much better than this past, whatever it was. It might not be exactly what you hoped for, and maybe this is why we're kind of crying over spilled milk here with this Five of Cups. But I feel like it's actually pretty solid, and you're coming off pretty strong, actually. It's going to be a good time for meditation and spiritual practices as well. I do see with this Four of Swords that you're definitely healing from something. It's going to be kind of a respite period for you emotionally. You're going to be getting over some things. I feel like There is going to be a need for rest, so definitely take rest when you need to take rest. Be very conservative with your energy, but overall, this is actually a very nice card to be in kind of the heart of your reading. If you've been having relationship issues, this is kind of a period to mend those, to reconcile differences, or to reconcile even relationships. I feel like you're putting things to rest as well, matters of the heart. And it feels, it just feels like, again, take your rest, really make sure that you're not overextending yourself. And with this Five of Cups here, it feels like you're still a bit preoccupied here with whatever this was, whatever happened to you. That is still going to be coming up for the start of May, I do have to say. But again, not all is lost. It is crying over spilled milk. It's I don't think it's as big of a deal as you believe it is. You still need to heal, for sure. That doesn't mean you don't need to heal. You still need to vent it. You still need to express yourself. But it's not that bad. And that was almost the energy I was picking up at the beginning. It's like you're afraid to just express yourself. You're afraid to just work through it with other people. And this is a card of cooperation. The Hierophant, work with the people you have, work with the people around you. And I really feel like you'll move on from this disappointment, this bitterness, this sorrow. What do the animals have to say here at the start of May? We got two. Yeah, so I was saying this is going to be a very spiritual time for you, and that seems to be the case with this bear card and the owl. I also have to say this Four of Swords can sometimes be spiritual downloads as well. You might be getting a lot of spiritual information, especially with Lilith moving into Pisces. It might hit you a little hard mentally, but it's actually going to help you heal emotionally later on. And with this bear card, things might be going a bit slower than you had wanted them to. It's kind of a slow start. It's moving out of this hibernation and into spring. You're still a bit groggy, but it's important to keep going. It's important to just do what you need to do. You're going to pick up your momentum eventually, and it's just important to be physically active as well when this card shows up. But this also does indicate spiritual awakenings to me, coming into new enlightenment or new knowledge. And that's just confirmed to me with this owl card. This is a very, very spiritual card. Some of you might actually be having a lot of psychic moments or a lot of psychic or intuitive hits about the people around you, and about your life in general. I do feel like there is also a blessing for some of you. There is something financial, it feels like, especially with the Hierophant kind of in the day-to-day position. There is something physically that a lot of you are going to be gifted, and that might actually be a literal gift given to you. It could also just be a gift from the universe. Some of you, it might not be physical. It might be more of just a spiritual boon, though I really do feel like there is a strong sense of something really nice in your life coming into manifestation. And Owl also speaks of abundance. Owl doesn't know scarcity, even though it hunts at night and it's stalking in the night. Its heightened senses are able to see all of the animals, all of the prey around it. And this is telling me that you need to look for your abundance. And when you kind of focus on all of the blessings that you already have, you're going to find the thing you're looking for. It's just going to come to you, really. And sometimes when this card comes up, there's actually a need to make an offering. I feel like ritual is going to be very important for you in the beginning of May. That could potentially be the new moon ritual, for in Taurus. It could also be, I almost want to say, for the Lilith transit as well. I mean, those two are actually co-occurring, I believe, very close together. I want to say that the new moon is the 4th or the 5th, and I know that Lilith is entering Pisces on the 3rd. Again, all of that information is in the blog post down below. And you know, I'm actually not surprised to see all of this physical security coming into your life. We do have a lot of planets that are going to be moving into Taurus for Taurus season, so it does feel like this is coming at you in a very nice way. And I definitely feel like you're reaping the rewards here. And whatever it is that you're starting, whatever sort of project you are starting, for those of you who are beginning a new adventure, I do feel like it will pay off eventually. It might take a while with the bear. It might not even be in the month of May. It might be kind of an investment of sorts. Some of you might be investing, actually. It'll be a good time for that. So if some of you have been considering to invest, May might be the time for you. Let's see. Very interesting. I'm curious to see what we have for the end of May, kind of to see the outcome or the long-term trajectory for everything. This could potentially go out into June or even beyond. So we do have... Okay. It's actually looking really good at the end of May, I have to say. We have this Nine of Swords in reverse. The Knight of Swords. And the Queen of Wands. So with this Nine of Swords in reverse, I do feel like whatever it is that's been keeping you up, whatever it is that's been making you anxious or just giving you a lot of stress or strain, I do see you finally moving out of that by the end of May. And I said at the very beginning of the reading, whatever it is that feels like it's just weighing you down, whatever it is that you're crying about or feeling very forlorn about, you're almost through it. You're almost done. It might not seem like you're that close to it yet, but I really feel like it's going to be, it's not as bad as it seems, and that's going to become very clear, especially if you've been worried about a job or some sort of housing situation or just something in your day-to-day life. It's not as bad as it seems. You're coming out of this anxiety. You're actually going to be able to finally get some rest, and that was really important for the beginning of May as well. So rest is really coming up strong for you. That was actually coming up for Leo as well, the video I just did before this. So it seems like a lot of the fire signs are really needing to take rest right now. I see the end of anxiety too, or the end of mental struggles. If you've been dealing with mental health issues, I do feel like that is going to be resolving for you at the end of May, or potentially out into June. It's coming to an end soon. I do feel like with this Knight of Swords, some of you are really going to be leaping into something by the end of May. Some of you might be finally taking action on an idea. I do feel like some of you also could be meeting an air sign, so that could be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius who really catches your eye, who really sparks something in your heart. This could also be kind of solidifying a relationship with an air sign that you already have, or it could just be a person who charges right in and goes and takes it what they want, and they're just very direct with the way that they communicate. Yeah, this is strong Gemini energy, actually. This could also be a Taurus as well, kind of a late Decan Taurus. Interesting. And we do have Queen of Wands, which is how we started off this reading, so full circle. Awesome. And this is how you are communicating towards the end of the month. This is how you're coming across to people, I feel. You're mentally in a very strong place. You might be starting a new business venture. That was kind of coming up earlier, actually, as well. I feel like whatever it is, even if you're working in an organization or something, you're coming in very, very strong towards the end. And you might also be communicating with another fire sign as well. So that could be another Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. And I feel like there's finally going to be some action towards the end of the month. You're finally coming out of this nightmare. You're finally coming out of the dream world. And things are finally being set into motion. And you're feeling really good about it. Your mind is coming very strong. Your mind is very clear and very determined. You're very focused by the end of the month. So definitely rest when you can at the beginning of May. Just saying, you're gonna need it. Interesting. I'm gonna pull one last animal card here just to kind of tie things up. What is the animal wisdom for Aries in the second half of May 2019? Hyena. This is kind of an interesting card to come up because this can indicate someone who uses humor as a mask, or this kind of drunken laughter even. Some of you might need to practice a bit of sobriety, however that resonates for you. This doesn't even necessarily need to be alcohol. This could also just be anything that you use to cope with your emotions, or to cope with things you don't want to deal with. It could even be, I mean, obviously another substance. It could also be internet usage. It could just be humor. It could be anything that prevents you from really showing your true self. We have this half moon here, kind of this half mask. It's hyena is someone who doesn't take themselves seriously. They kind of make themselves the clown. They kind of make themselves the joke. And I actually feel like a lot of you are stepping out of that because you do have the Queen of Wands here. You are coming in very strong, and you have this Knight of Swords as well. And with those two energies together, I feel like you're really just going after what it is that you're passionate about. You're going after your dreams. And that's really, really awesome. And I feel like there's finally going to be a lot of movement for you, especially as all of these planets are kind of moving into Gemini, um, and out of Taurus. That's going to be more in June. I do feel like there's going to be a picking up of the pace. Um, yeah, this actually looks. I feel like things are actually gonna. They really are looking better. Just like I said at the beginning of the reading. Wow, it's like I didn't need to read cards for 20 minutes. um, so yeah, that's great. Um, just be careful. Like, whatever it is that you're using, whatever excuses or whatever humor or however you're not taking yourself seriously, you're definitely being called to really be more bold with it, to stop laughing about it, and it will pay off. I'm not getting any more messages. I'm not seeing any more images here right now. I do hope that this reading resonated with all of you. I hope you will join me for the love readings later this month. It'll be for anyone, whether you're single or in a relationship. It's just going to be whatever messages come out. So I do hope that those help you as well. You are also welcome to donate or book a personal reading in the description box down below. I have all of that information. I also have an Instagram account where I post random pick-a-card spreads and also collective card readings. So follow me on there as well if you want more divination. I I think that's everything. Just make sure to hit like and subscribe and comment down below. Let me know what's going on. You know, start sharing. Stop wearing this mask because I do feel like you're going to be taking it off at the end of May. So start practicing now. Take off the mask. Tell us what's going on. Um, but that looks like that's everything for now. I will see you next time, Aries. Bye.